Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, September 28th. I skipped vlogging yesterday. Didn't game with my friends. One of them wasn't available, helping someone move or something. Instead, I recorded an episode of Skyrim. And you may be thinking, okay, Adam, usually your games are like 2 hours long, and your video game episodes are like a half-hour long. So you were only able to record one half-hour episode in the 2 hours that you ended up free with that evening? Yeah, and I'm glad I was able to do anything, really. But still, you know, it's something. Pushing towards the end, I'm like, I'm guessing 2 or 3 episodes left. I don't know. I've thought that before. So I might get another curveball in the quest line that I'm finishing up the game with, but I'm getting there. Anyways, that's aside from the point. The point is today is Tuesday. Tuesday is movie day. Now, I am still... Fiddler on the Roof was a significant movie. So perhaps a bit lighter film today. I'm gonna start the second box here, the 1979 to 2002 box of my 007 Blu-rays. What was this? This was Moonraker, which is not one that I have on any of the old DVDs. Which means that while I probably have at some point seen the movie, most likely, it has been a long time. Because it's probably been about 10 years since I've seen any of the ones that I have on DVD. It's been longer since I've seen any of the other ones that I don't. So it has been a very long time, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it at some point. It's the space one. It's the one for which the first Austin Powers movie got the, you know, they did their whole moon base plot line, which was weird. So far, the Roger Moore 007 films haven't been as bad as my brain tells me they were going to be. I mean, they're not the greatest, of course, but they're alright. I'm wondering if it was his later ones that just get worse, because just the idea of a moon base sounds a little far-fetched. Sounds a little absurd. I don't know. Maybe they play it well. I do believe at the very least they don't dress him up like a clown in this one. And you know what? That automatically nets them some points. You know. We'll get to that one. But, so yeah. I'm gonna watch... I mean, it's Moonraker. What do you want me to say? You know, going through it for a bit there, I was thinking, hey, maybe this isn't what I was thinking. I was thinking this went into some silly, nonsensical, you know, weird space station plot. Maybe it's going to be about space, but they're staying here grounded on Earth and making a lot more sense. Nope, never mind. I would give 007 Moonraker a 6.9 out of 10. Box has no description. Let's go read the back of box description that I downloaded from the internet, because the Blu-ray versions I got of James Bond movies don't have them. So, well, Moonraker. When a U.S. space shuttle is stolen in a mid-air abduction, only James Bond, Agent 007, can find the evil genius responsible. The clues point to billionaire Hugo Drax, who has devised a scheme to destroy all human life on Earth. As Bond races against time to stop Drax's evil plot, he joins forces with Dr. Holly Goodhead, a NASA scientist who is as beautiful as she is brilliant, and 007 needs all the help he can get, for Drax's henchman is none other than Bond's old nemesis, Jaws, the indestructible steel-toothed giant. Their adventure leads them all the way to a colossal orbiting space station where the stage is set for an epic battle which will determine the fate of all mankind. Man, they're really giving the game away in that, aren't they? But yeah, sure, that's the plot. Don't have much further description I gotta do. I will say, so I mentioned well, at least James isn't dressed like a clown, and like not 10 minutes later, but right as we're getting ready to go into like the, the James Bond, like, title graphics, it does the circus, it like, as Jaws from the opening scene crashes down on the big tent. And I'm like, oh no, it's not the circus one, that's gotta be another one. Later on in the movie, first off, for a while there, his henchman was actually some other guy. Until James Bond 1, and then he hired Jaws. So later on in the movie, Jaws shows up in a giant papier-mâché clown suit. So James isn't dressed as a clown yet, but the assassin who's after him is. I'm like, come on. Why are you dressing them up like clowns? Don't. No reason. The movie does its best job to make everyone who watches it hate dogs. It really pits dogs as the bad guys by having them be the murderous villains of one of the early on characters that we care for. Because according to Moonraker, dogs are murderous and evil and therefore cannot be trusted. That's what the movie's telling me. Not me, that's the movie. So if you think that, presenting dogs, particularly I think these are they Dobermans? One of the breeds that generally is viewed with some concern as it might be violent. Well, they are propagating that stereotype and trying to make people hate them. Like, I thought, like, they were doing that, like, to make it where, like, when James has to, like, dispatch the dog later to save his own life, that you don't feel terrible for the dog. Like, I thought, like, okay, they're setting this dog up as a real evil villain because they're gonna do something like that later, and they don't want you to be too mad at James. But no, they just literally were only in there to be evil. They didn't come back later. Drax, Mr. Space Guy, Mr. Space Hitler, basically, trying to perfect his master race, is eccentrically rich, from refitting a laboratory overnight into a wonderful, stateroom, to literally stating to James Bond that, James keeps spoiling his attempts to come up with a creative way to kill him. I'm like, he's not okay just to kill him. He wants a creative way to kill him because he's eccentric. I find Jaws and Jaws' girlfriend to be kind of a sweet little relationship, particularly there near the end when they're like basically realizing, hey, we're probably dying, and they're just, okay, we're just gonna enjoy each other's company. And at that point I'm like, okay, it's sweet. And by the end, Jaws does, spoilers, Jaws, once James basically gets Drax to admit that, anyone that doesn't fit his, standards of human perfection will be exterminated, and Jaws is sitting there, this monstrous looking guy, like, wait a minute, that's me. And so he kind of joins James's side at that point, like, I don't care how much you're paying me. You're paying me to exterminate me. What? No. I just got a girlfriend. I don't want to do that. He does talk. Actually, he says like a word or two. Otherwise, Jaws doesn't say any of that, because Jaws basically doesn't speak, because the actor has his mouth full of metal. Obviously, when he does talk, it's not actually him talking then. He's like dubbed, because that actor cannot speak. His mouth is full of metal. But yeah, it's fun there. And we got some interesting stuff. Venice, a beautiful jungle oasis. There's some cool places. And it is Drax, like, who has these ideal specimens that he's, set aside here and is bringing up to space so that when he sends down his poison gas to kill all humans, he's made a poison gas that will kill humans but not hurt plants or animals. So he's planning to kill off the planet and then have his people come down while they wait in space until then. Anyways, James gets rid of the radar jammer, and I guess NASA comes up with their Space Force. Anyways, you end up with NASA's Space Force against Drax's Space Force in this space battle with lasers. Lasers, something that is light, and therefore, ignoring the fact that lasers, in general, you're not going to see, like, this long beam, like, zoom across, heading towards you. If it's, it's not likely to do the kind of damage that it does in there. Ignoring all of that. One, they're making sound in space, and two, it's light rays that are making sound. They're going pew pew, and I'm just like sitting here like, it doesn't bother me when in Star Wars someone pulls out a blaster and they shoot someone with their blaster and it goes pew and the light zooms. That does not bother me, because it's a sci-fi show, and that's what it's supposed to do, and that makes sense, and that's fine. I buy it. This is James Bond. It's supposed to be grounded in reality, and now they're just it bothers me. It bothers me how much they're just like, whatever. Let's just be stupid. Stupid's funny, right? Funny's probably the biggest thing. They do so many things. There are points in this where it feels like, are you just trying to be a comedy? You're not supposed to be being a comedy. You're supposed to be an action movie with some elements, that make you laugh, sure, but they just do so many double takes, and they're just like, they maybe are like, maybe we'd do better if we were just a comedy. Get rid of all this action stuff and do funny. Again, I'm giving it a 6.9. It's not a bad movie. None of the 007 movies have been bad movies. Right around 7 is a pretty, standard for what you would want to watch. And it's right in that neighborhood. That's absolutely movies that I would watch again, that I enjoy. It's not that it's a bad movie. It just could be a lot better. With the budget and reputation that they have, I would have wanted it to be better. That's all. Anyways. Moonraker, eh? You like it? What's your favorite James Bond movie? Let me know in the comments. Have I already watched it, maybe? Maybe it's something I can look forward to ahead. I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues.